Okay. Yay! I really hope you can hear me now. One of those little. I think you can, because the light is green. So we're going to take it as yes. So, yay! This is take 3. I'm learning, you guys, so bear with me. Hey, it's okay. Let's see. I'm Joy, D. Fanning, astronaut of life. I am a high vibe storyteller. I love telling stories and meditating. And in this video, I want to talk about different energies I've dealt with and have picked up on this week because it's been a doozy. It's been a little crazy. So let me just. Oh, this is my third time. I'm just going to keep trying. The 16th was, Sunday. Wow. So at the beginning of this week, I got this super cool. I had this super cool meditation where I saw some cool stuff, and I'm gonna tell you about it. And I bet it kind of had some repercussions. I'll share too. So this was on Sunday. I did a morning meditation to change my energy and ask for direction on if I should write these stories as novels or switch them to a screenplay. So, right now, I'm on a second draft of a novel that is going to be like a 3-book series. And I've edited 4 chapters this week. So, yay, we're making progress. Um, but while I love books and everything, I really for years now have had this gnawing about screenplays and movies or TV or something along those lines. And I tend to take in stories more through visuals than reading, though I do love a good book, don't get me wrong. Um, but I wanted direction on this, and I was doing this on Sunday. I felt like I didn't know if I should turn this novel into a screenplay or just, if I guess my worry was that I was, hey Diana, thank you. Can you hear me? I'm assuming you can. I really hope so. Um, but I know I'm supposed to write screenplays, right? Oh, thanks. Awesome. But I just wasn't sure. I was like, should it be a book? It's already a book. I was just debating in my head. So I wanted some clarity. So I meditated on it. And I got this visual of the answer. And with this visual came like this knowing as it played out. So I was at like this crossroads, and it reminded me of the game of life, and it looked like the game of life board. And there's a certain part where you're like midway through the game where you go up these little mountain ranges, right? And it looked like that. And sometimes there's a path at the bottom, so you have a choice to go up or down. And for me, it was showing like where you're at where there's just one trail right now. You're at this crossroads. And one is you go straight to writing screenplays. That in the vision was the bottom road, and there wasn't any cool spaces on it. There wasn't like taxes or anything. This is like in that game of life. But it was like hard work and learning, and I made it happen at the end. Because when they connected was when the screenplay will get done. And I was like, okay. And then I was shown the mountain path. And this one like blew me away because this was the novel path, to keep it a book. And I'll read what I wrote. But the novel path is more blessed because past me planted the seeds of success there, and it's time to reap the rewards I planted on this path. I don't think I touched on it too much last week. It was in my notes, but I never got around to it. But I've been writing stories, or thinking about writing stories, or trying to learn how to write stories for the past 12 years. 12 years, this has been a goal dream of mine. I finished college with an English degree. I picked English just so I could learn how to write better. I mean, it's my even though I have trauma around writing that I'm working on healing. Like, sorry, it even though I couldn't write sometimes because of this blockage I had that I hadn't healed at the time, I still knew writing was a part of my purpose. And I was like, I'm going to get this degree. I'm going to learn how to write. I'm going to get a blog where I talk to other writers, where I have to write at least a blog. I did that for 10 years. I would write short stories, I would do little things, but it wasn't until last year where I was really like, fuck it, it's time. I need to heal this. I've been sitting on this awesome story idea for years now. It's time to put it on the page. And I did that. I did that last year. I finished the first draft. I want to traditionally publish these books. That means like where they're on the shelf in Barnes and Noble. It's a long path. It's not easy. It's a big dream. So maybe that's why it was on the mountain path. Oh, I didn't connect that before. That makes sense. But when I was shown this mountain path with the novel, it was like all these times I was like, I'm going to learn to do this. I'm going to put in this energy. I was putting in seeds on this path, and now I'm finally freaking ready to walk on this path. And it's like, Joy, why wouldn't you choose this path full of like paydays and, wild cards or whatever, and do that? Like, and I was like, okay, that makes total sense. That's like where my abundance lies. It's like has the treasure chest. My cat's meowing at the door again. But here, so then I had this awesome experience where I got to kind of see where the energy of past me has planted this abundance, and it was really humbling. Okay, he's driving me crazy. Yumi. Oh my. Oh man. You know what? I'd say play around with it because yeah, books are big, but a blog is just what 800 words, 1,000 words. It's not too bad. My novel right now is only at like it's only at like 48,000 words. I need to get it up to 70,000 words. Um, but that's part of the editing process. And also, what came with this vision though was I need to put more of my energy, like my time, into working on this novel. Like I'm at the stage where I can reap these abundance, but it only comes when I put in the actions, right? I have to write the book. That's the only way it works. So I was like, well, crap, I need to put more time into this. that means I need to take time away from other things, right? And that's what kept me in my head all week, where I was just ping ponging, questioning everything I've been doing. Like, oh, if I had to make more room for writing, like, how do I do it? How do I do it? Do I do this? Do I do that? And just the key is back and forth, back and forth. And it was, to be quite honest, at the time, I didn't even realize how in my head I was. And it was pretty bad. And then Wednesday night, I was doing an interview with my friend Annabelle for the meditation stories, and she did a tarot reading for me, and she was like, "Ooh, Joy, you are way too much in your head. You need to, tap into your heart and connect those energies because you're way off balance." And as soon as she said that, I was like, that's exactly what I need to do. I didn't think about my heart. Cube, your little butt's in the screen. As cute as it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, so she showed me that, and oh, thank you. And I was like, okay, yeah, I need to tap into my heart, which I'm still working on. I've been doing it for a few days. Well, that was Wednesday, yeah, since yesterday and today, but I don't think I'm fully there yet. But what came with start at least trying to tap into my heart space was this realization that all these decisions I'm trying to decide on that I'm ping ponging in my head, like I just gotta release them. I get the sense that next week somehow I'm gonna figure it out and I'm gonna make it happen, and it's all just gonna fall into place. And I can choose to do it the hard way and keep my head ping ponging, or I can just let it flow and come to me when it's time and just keep doing what I know I need to do. So it was like a big lesson for me this week. It started on a great note, but I also want to say, like, yeah, that meditation was beautiful. Having seen all this abundance, especially on a dream I've had for 12 years, right? Like, that's a very sentimental, touching thing, but I took it too far in my mind and it kind of tailspinned me a little bit. So, granted, I guess it's still Mercury retrograde, right? So maybe that's not too off. But I don't know. That could have been happening to other people. Like, but that's the big thing for me this week, which is yeah, tapping back into that heart space and taking it slow. Like it will all get done on its own time. Yeah. Another message I got for like this coming energy we're stepping into is we're stepping into abundance, which, like I said, I had that vision of literally me stepping into it. I think we all are. And the work we've been putting into the things we've been trying to manifest, it's showing up. It's showing up. I'm already meeting goals for my business that I've had this month. I've already met them. So I'm like, this is showing up really fast. Right, QB? So fast. And yeah. Oh, there's some more things. Let me look back up here. Yeah. Okay. Another thing I want to mention that has came up twice for me this week, but in different ways, is just remembering, like, okay, he really wants to be up here. That we have the power to stop. And for me, that meant my mind. I have the power to stop these ping ponging thoughts, right? How? Well, connecting with my heart, realizing what I'm doing, that all helps. But I think was talking to my friend Linda today about this, and I think we took it to another level because yeah, in the 3D, like with my thoughts or um, but I'm also learning. I also learned this week just by doing a bunch of readings, like how easily my energy gets tapped, and I'm like, I need to learn more about how to not do that, and find balance with everything I want to do. And to me that ties back into this, we have the power to stop, right? Like you can even tell this to your guides. And as I was writing this, I came up with a, well, I'll just read it. We are driving the bus here. So like this is my earth experience, this is my life that I'm experiencing. I can only control my own actions, right? Like I'm driving the bus, I'm steering my life. Your guides, your spirit guides, are your mirrors, you know, on the bus. They spot things for us, they check our blind spots for us, they show us what we don't see. I would say our ego's the backseat driver. And when I thought of this analogy, I was like, ooh, isn't that so true? Because them being those mirrors, showing us our blind spots, I just love that because that's at least that's what my guides do with me. They're always like, "Hey, Joy, you're doing so good, and we like love you so much, but like, why don't you work on this?" And I was like, "Oh man, I didn't see that. I guess I'll work on it." Now, back I'm the driver, right? I can choose to work on this or not. They're my guides. Obviously, they want my highest good, so you make the decision with that. But you can also tell them, like, you can tell them no. Or, like, hey, this energy is a little intense for me. I need some time to adjust to it, please. I like to talk to them as if they're my friends and people, like every day, like you guys. I don't know why you wouldn't, because they're our peers as well as anybody else. And the other thing that kind of ties into that is just protecting your energy, which is, I feel like I've been learning this for months. I guess I haven't mastered it yet, but like I'm still not well versed on how to protect your energy. I do the best I can to protect my own, and I did a fairly good job today. I set some boundaries, and I recognized when just helping a friend that, oh, this is tapping my energy more than I realized. Like, I feel a little unbalanced now. I need to address this before I move on to something else. And my first reaction was to get a little discouraged, like, oh, why didn't I see that sooner? And then as soon as I thought that, my my guide showed me like a memory from like 10 years ago. No, longer, much longer. Not quite 20 years. We'll just say 15 years ago, where it took me like 2 freaking years to learn some of these lessons that I'm picking up now, maybe in months or days. And it was like, oh, you're right. I made a lot of progress, more than I realized. Like, that's super cool. Like, yeah, it might not be instantaneous, but I mean, it did take me years to figure it out before, and at least now I'm into weeks or months. Like I'm kind of going off track here, but it's good to recognize your own progression. And like maybe right now I'm not the best at protecting my energy or knowing exactly how to, but I'm gonna get better at it, and my discernment is gonna grow each time I make a mistake. and get bombarded with this energy I don't want, like I'm gonna learn from it. I know I will. And maybe 15 years from now, setting boundaries or protection will be instantaneous, but I don't have to be there yet. So that's kind of the main stuff I wanted to go over this week. Tomorrow I'm going to tomorrow at 12. I have the group guided meditation. Um, it's a Zoom link. You can find it in Discord, and you can find it in the 3-day meditation challenge group on Facebook. There's links to both of those down there. I would love to have you there tomorrow. And then, oh, well, the 3-day meditation challenge. Yeah, I was like, there's something else I need to talk about. That's on February 11th, and I'm like super excited for that. There's not really like me teaching anything. It's just me. I just wanted to like get my friends together and us just meditate together and like take a weekend to just go inward and do some work and bring in some energies and just, you know, like a meditation party. I don't know. To me, it's going to be fun. It's going to have 3 meditations a day that I'm going to lead. If other people want to lead them, they can jolly well do it because to me, the more the merrier, right? Like, I'm really excited for it. It's on a Facebook group. The link will be in the bottom. But you guys, thank you so much for sticking it out with me for this video and for me learning how to go live on YouTube. I almost said Instagram. I love you all. Thank you so much. Namaste.